Hi, everyone. I realized that as I've been putting out content and talking about living and investing abroad and highlighting different markets, I actually haven't slowed down to introduce myself. So this video is my introduction. And it's funny, as much as I'm comfortable interviewing people and talking about real estate, I'm not as comfortable talking about myself, but here we go. So who am I? Where do I come from? And why should you listen to me when it comes to where to live and invest abroad? So I'm from the United States, and in my early 30s, my husband and I moved 10 times in less than 10 years, including 4 international moves. And all of this was in search of the place that we wanted to call our forever home, the place where we could see raising a family. And we had quite a set of criteria to navigate. Now, I'm not going to get into all the places we moved. We'll save that for another video, but it was a pretty dramatic shift from hot to cold weather, big cities to small towns, and everything in between. And one of the reasons that we were able to travel that much is because in my early 20s, I started a real estate recruiting company. It's called Pro REA Staffing, and it is still very much in business. And basically, I help top real estate agents in the United States grow their team. So I help them hire administrative help. We consult on their growth strategy, and I coach leaders in real estate organizations on leadership skills. So in 2009, just after the big crash, I moved my recruiting business online. And I was probably one of the first recruiters, at least in the United States, to interview candidates on video. And that was a whole rodeo. Anyways, I digress. So I moved the business online. My husband and I packed up everything. We left Los Angeles and we moved to Italy. And that started our hops around the world for almost the next 10 years while we looked for our forever home. But that business was such an instrumental part of my learning process because I got to see how top agents run their business and the level of service that they provide their clients. Once we settled here in Spain, the place that we call our forever home, we ended up buying a vacation home in a third country where I don't speak the languages. And that was, it was a big eye-opening experience. Everything from opening the bank account to the way buyers and sellers interact, to the way property is sold, the level of inspections that are done, everything was different from my expectation. And I was completely a fish out of water. And that process made me realize that I wanted to help other buyers build their team of experts so that they could have a smooth experience. I was really lucky. I ended up finding a really wonderful agent, and I still have this property. I'm quite happy with it, but it definitely could have gone another direction. And it was a lot of money for us to put at risk. And that's really the foundation, the impetus for creating Solena Global Living. I believe that you should love where you live and that it's worth the effort and the risk and the expense to go out there and figure out where you really want to live and make it happen. And I know that's easier said than done. When we first sold everything and moved, my business was in the gutter because the real estate market was in the gutter and we didn't have a lot to lose. So selling what we had and leaving the country was challenging, but it wasn't a terribly difficult choice. I understand that doing that with a family and full-time jobs and everything else is a lot to navigate. And so I work with some incredible partners to help people who want to move from their country to a foreign country start the process from where do you want to live to how do you make that happen? And then all the way to where am I going to call home? How am I going to either rent or buy a property? And that's the piece where I think I'm uniquely suited to help people. So I draw on my experience working with top agents, my personal experience navigating multiple markets, and I vet real estate professionals in these different markets where foreign buyers are most interested in going. And I've built a referral network. So my business is connecting with buyers, understanding their needs, and then matching them, because I am a recruiter, matching them with the right real estate professional who can help them navigate the process and ensure that they have a successful sale. And the nice part is I work on a referral basis with my partners, which means my service is completely free to you, the buyer. Now, over the next couple of months, you're going to see a lot of content about Spain from me. And this is because I've collaborated with an incredible company called Expatsy, and I'm going to be taking a group of Americans on a scouting trip through Spain. We're starting up in Girona in Catalonia, and we are traveling all the way down the coast of Spain, all the way to Cadiz, and then over to Sevilla through May. And in every city that we visit, every day is 24 cities, I think is where we're where we're at. We will be talking to a local expert about the area, and we will be touring property in that city. So you're going to be seeing a ton of videos from me about what you get for the money in Altea versus Malaga versus Cadiz, and we'll be highlighting some of the features and benefits of all of these different parts of Spain. So if Spain is a place that you're interested in possibly landing, this is definitely a series you're going to want to follow. So make sure to subscribe, like, follow, all those things, and expect to see a ton of incredible content from me in May as we travel through Spain and get a firsthand look at some of the best places that you could consider your forever home in Spain. So thanks. There's just a little bit about me. I hope that we have a chance to connect in the future when you're ready to build your team of experts. Take care.